for your firm?
So the prior speaker said it best. I believe the investment community is looking at tower infrastructure, specifically DAS infrastructure, as a mission-critical asset. Mission-critical piece of the network. We view these networks as largely perpetual in nature, with very few disruptive technologies on the horizon that might ultimately replace installations. And so we suspect we are investing in networks that will have a return on capital for quite some time. They are very capital-intensive networks. That's a challenge and an opportunity. It's a challenge in proprietary builds, and it's a great opportunity for providing multi-tenant services with very high operating leverage as networks lease up. The specific opportunity in DAS really emerged in our minds 4 or 5 years ago. Zoning, rooftop land rights became increasingly difficult to acquire. I have a perspective it's actually easier to zone and permanent build a DAS network than it is a macro site in most areas of opportunity, where there is significant capacity opportunity. I don't see that dynamic as ultimately changing anytime soon, at least in this country. So we are, in fact, a more aggressive investor in DAS than in any other portion of the tower business.
I think we take a look at DAS as very much from the same set of goggles that probably Matt looks at it. We are increasingly frustrated by the returns on invested capital in the traditional tower space here in the U.S. today. There's a lot of capital chasing new builds. There's a lot of capital chasing acquisitions. Very difficult for us to compete against the public company's cost of capital. Multiples have crept up into the high teens for small tuck-in, one-off type M&A transactions. And so therefore, when you look at acquisition costs being much higher than replacement costs of the asset, you naturally become, in the real estate business, you become a developer. You go back to what you do best, which is building. So we're selectively building strategic towers, and we've been very aggressively figuring out how to address our customers' needs in building DAS systems that are unique. So that's where our investment thesis maybe takes a little bit of a left turn to perhaps a traditional private equity investor. We really look at good DAS projects as being more location driven and more real estate specific. So where we have a unique relationship with a real estate owner is where we invest a lot of capital into DAS. So for example, you all saw the Dallas Cowboys Stadium yesterday. That is a very unique project. We are involved in 2 stadium projects right now and are aggressively looking to do more stadium projects. Those are unique venues. And if we can help the municipality or the team owner or the franchise deploy that capital so they have a great, robust network that they can not only use for the wireless carriers, but use for their internal communications, we think that's a win-win, and we get a unique contract with the venue, and then we feel very comfortable deploying that capital, knowing that we have a secure, contracted relationship that's traditionally exclusive with the owner of the real estate. That's an important distinction for us, is finding unique and exclusive real estate. We have a very large office building portfolio. We've got 1,700 suburban and urban office buildings. Increasingly, our customers are very frustrated with capacity and coverage sort of above floors 20 and 30 in big high-rise office buildings. Our portfolio today has about 130 office buildings that are over 1.2 million square feet. Those are large office buildings. Many of them are 80s and 90s concrete construction. Some of them have interesting sort of glass facades where RF is very difficult to work with inside. So we're now building 2 unique DAS systems, one in a 2.6 million square foot office project in Boston, and then another project in Los Angeles that's 2 office towers that are about 3 million square feet together. So those are unique locations. You move into the high floors of those buildings, there's no coverage at all. Coverage is very limited. So we think those are unique locations. And we have 2 anchor customers, 2 carriers that want to be our anchors in developing those 2 systems. The third area where we focus, that's really the stadiums and the office buildings are indoor, and the returns on invested capital from our perspective are superior to that of buying and building a tower. So that's where we're using our balance sheet, and that's where we're using our debt facility. And I'll come back to our debt facility a little bit later. The third opportunity that we see in DAS is outdoor DAS. We have been very aggressive in acquiring utility infrastructure. We made a partnership with Progress Energy. We made a partnership with Duke Energy, where we bought their tower businesses, their unregulated tower businesses. And part of those unregulated tower businesses came master lease agreements to utilize their distribution and transmission assets. So now we're working with our customers in markets like Cincinnati, Charlotte, Tampa, Orlando, and we go to our customers and say, where can we help you? Where do you have your biggest problems? We have a unique master lease agreement with this real estate, which will allow us to deploy quicker. We have a lot of capital at our discretion. We have about $135 million of capital in our business plan to put to work this year off the balance sheet. How can we help you? We're not only stopping at Duke and Progress, but we have 2 other unique partnerships that we'll announce probably late this summer. So once again, those are really real estate driven. Those are relationships that we have with real estate owners that are unique and proprietary, where we can really use the combination of our unique relationship with the property owner and our unique relationship with the customers through our master lease agreements, and then also the funding capability off of our balance sheet and off of our senior credit facility allows us to lever those assets day one and get very good returns on invested capital. So that's a little bit about our investment thesis. Sorry about being long-winded there, Clayton.